And I think that there must be a lot of other mums out there like me, especially if you're homeschoolers, who don't know the child training practices that actually go into having children that you can, and this is going to be a controversial word, that you can control in your home so that you can control your home. Hi, I wanted to talk today about where I am at for 2024 with my homeschooling and with my just life in general, because I'm very sporadic on here, even though I don't mean to be. And it is because there is something in my life which has been severely lacking, or I suppose just since having my sixth baby, I haven't been doing as much as I should, and it's not good. The end results are never something that you can overcome without addressing it. Sorry, I'm doing this while my kids have gone for a swim, and it's actually 10 in the morning, which I never film in the morning, but I just know I have so much to do today, and I just constantly have so much to do. I'm constantly chasing my tail. Ultimately, what I wanted to talk to you about today is my complete lack of systems which I have. My house is always untidy, and it's getting to the point where it's you know when it's getting dirty because you just can't, you're constantly tidying and you can't just clean it well. Everything that I want to do in the school holidays, because we're currently in our summer holidays here, which I hate because we have our summer holidays at the same time as our Christmas holidays, which makes the summer holidays seem really short, because for a good third of the holidays you're super busy with Christmas, and then you've only got 3.5 weeks of actual uninterrupted time before you're apparently supposed to go back to school. I don't know if I'm going to go back to school pretty much at the start of February, because I'm not sure that I'm ready. I'm just really ultimately, if you were like a personal friend, I would just say I'm not doing well. And you know what it comes down to? I know exactly what it comes down to. It comes down to child training. My children, I have always been a child trainer. I was raised by my parents, my mum, who child trained us, and who were doing chores. We had work standards, we had behavior standards and discipline structures all in place, so that as she had more and more children, she could keep us in line. And ultimately, as a mum, I'm realizing that it wasn't just keeping us in line and giving us good behaviors to live up to, and giving us good standards and ideals of how to treat each other and other people and how to socialize and all of that. It actually it is what you need to do if you're going to keep control of your home. And at the moment, I can say I've lost control of my home. I am constantly working from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, which is now at nearly 11 p.m., which is way too late. I'm not getting enough sleep. My house is still not how I want it to be. I'm still not getting anything done that I wanted to do. I wanted to garden, I wanted to pick up sewing, I wanted to do a project in the schoolroom. None of that seems feasible at all, because I am constantly going around breaking up fights, fixing up chores and jobs that my kids were supposed to do that they haven't done properly, and then they've just disappeared outside somewhere. I'm constantly dealing with toddlers who are bored because I've had too much screen time last year when I had a baby. I'm dealing with children who are just, I wouldn't say completely unruly and terrible, no, but if I'm going to have the systems that I'm going to have in place, if I want to get the things done that I want to get done, if I want to get up early, if I want to go to bed at a reasonable hour, if I want to have some time to myself, if I'm going to prioritize my marriage, and if I'm going to be able to run my home smoothly so I can start homeschooling and not be overwhelmed, then my child training needs to step up about 4 gears. And I just think that, oh, that's nice talking, that's part of life. And I've had my sixth baby last year, or the year before, but she was little all of last year. And I do find that I was tired. Probably my tiredness morphed into being happy to exist in this season, which is okay. It's not a bad thing. But now I have to pick up and I have to go, well, that season was good. It served me then. It served me to just be existing, to be surviving, to try and be consistent with my homeschool. But now I can't do that again for another year. The idea at the moment of starting homeschooling with the way my house is functioning is terrifying and fills me with dread. And I wanted to show this video and I wanted to post this video on YouTube. And don't get me wrong, this is not a complaining video. This is not a woe is motherhood video. And this is not just supposed to provide encouragement to all the mums who are just doing it tough like me and oh yeah, you know, and pat each other on the back at how hard our life is. It is not what this video is about. So I want to talk about child training because I have mentioned a lot in my blog posts, a lot on here too, little things like how we homeschool, how I train my little ones for homeschooling, how I have quiet times and how we do chore times, how I block schedule, how I do, you know, a lot of those things and I do feel like I've told you what I do in the end result, but I haven't told you exactly how I do it. And I've been going back and forth over the last month and a half on whether I will share child training here on YouTube. It is something that I think makes me very vulnerable because it's a huge online platform. And what I'm most worried about when I was considering doing a full child training series, so what I've decided to do is to actually share the other side of child training and how I achieve the high behavior standards, how I achieve a clean home to a clean standard, how I am able to train the baby, to train the toddler, to sleep train, how I teach my kids to cook and they're supposed to clean up after themselves. It hasn't been done. I'm here and I'm cleaning instead. And this is what I mean. The standard hasn't been upheld in my home. All the systems are there. I just need to implement the standard. And once I just suck it up and do that consistently for about a week, I think my home will be up and running again.
The garden?
Yes, in a minute. We'll check the garden in a minute.
What?
Can you just wait a minute?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Do you want me to get it, Mom?
Okay. Well, you'll be careful. Get your boots on. But ultimately, so that's what I'm here to say. I'm here to keep it really honest and real. And I was going to do a sit down video and try and have everything perfect. And in fact, I have tried to film that every week now for 3 weeks and it hasn't happened. So I've decided, I just woke up this morning, I put my face on and I thought when I get a moment today, I'm just going to share. And I want to put on my channel a lot more of behind the scenes of how I'm actually training my kids, of what I do, of how I'm getting the standards that I need. And at the moment, I'm not getting those standards. And I just think that if I don't share some of that stuff, if I don't share some of the behind the scenes, some of the things that I've actually been taught myself through my parents and the things that I've read and the things that I do put into, oh, you're very sweaty. It's really hot today. The things that I do, I just think I'm not really being as helpful as I should be, or as I could be, as I want to be. And this is all down to want. I don't think this is something I have to do. It is really hard time constraint wise for me to get on here consistently. But I do acknowledge though that because I haven't been managing my time properly with the correct systems, and because I'm constantly chasing my kids, I have really cut off all of my time. I don't have any time for myself at the moment at all, and that's a really unhealthy place to be. And I think that there must be a lot of other mums out there like me, especially if you're homeschoolers, who don't know the child training practices that actually go into having children that you can, and this is going to be a controversial word, that you can control in your home so that you can control your home. You can talk about systems and time blocking and getting them to do chores, but if you can't uphold the standards with a disciplined structure, if you can't uphold it with a disciplined structure, and that's where child training gets really controversial. Shh. And if you can't uphold it, okay, I know, I heard all about it. I know. If you can't, if you can't uphold it with a disciplined structure, then, I know. If you can't do those things, then you're not going to be able to incorporate the rest of the things that I have taught on my YouTube channel. You're going to struggle with the quiet time. You're going to struggle with the chore time done to a really high standard so that your house is actually clean. You're going to struggle and not know how to train the toddlers and the babies. You're going to struggle to find to be able to train the babies and the toddlers so that you can have consistent school time. And I think I have mentioned a lot of this, and I've talked about all of those things all last year and the year before, but I haven't really told you what I'm doing. And it's because it's controversial. People don't like to hear that you're disciplining and giving your kids high standards to work to, that you're making your children uncomfortable. But one of the biggest things you have to get used to as a child trainer is don't be uncomfortable with seeing your kids uncomfortable. If you can get used to that, then you can really overcome and you can really succeed in child training. And so that's what I wanted to just jump on today. I really don't have much time. So I haven't got a microphone on, so you need to be a little bit quiet. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about I child train. That is how I am able to live the way I do. It's the way I'm able to be consistent in my own homeschooling. It's the way that I'm able to usually prioritize my marriage, because I think that's really important for your children to see. It's the way I keep my house clean. It's the way that I'm able to do extracurricular stuff like this. And I haven't been on here consistently for a year or more, and it is because as everything has slowly become slacker and slacker, with me upholding the standard in my home, I have lost control. I've lost control of my house, and I am now run ragged by my own lifestyle, and I need to fix it. So I'm going to take you along in all the standards that I'm going to put in place. And for a more in-depth and probably things that I can say not so much on YouTube, but I want to say. So if you want to sort of hear a bit more about what I have to say that I don't really want to say here on YouTube, I have an email series called the Child Training Series. I'll put the link for that down below. So if you want to grab, and you're going to have 1 to 2 emails a week coinciding with your video, plus extra things that I need to say, that I need to explain, that I may not be able to here on YouTube. If you've stopped receiving emails as part of that series, it's because I'm completely overhauling it and doing it again. I've been working on that for the last couple of months. And so that's what I wanted to say today. I wanted you to just jump on while I have a moment, not really in the quiet, and share, be real. But again, I'm not complaining as a mum. I'm not doing woe is my life. It is just a simple acknowledgement for me that I think you have to take as a mum to go, why am I living like this? Do I have to live like this? Should I be living like this? And when you ask yourself those questions, when I ask myself those questions, I just know immediately that it's a no. I can't keep doing this. I cannot keep living like this, not because I don't want to or it doesn't feel nice for me, but simply because I can't achieve homeschooling. I can't achieve the child raising standards that I think my children need from me when my home is run like this. It's that simple. So the kids are back from their swim, so I need to check out now. So this video probably wasn't overly helpful. I hope it was just an insight into what motherhood can be, and that's what I'm trying to be about. I'm not trying to drag motherhood down. I'm always trying to hold motherhood up, to be able to show women how to create the joyful motherhood. That's my catchphrase, I think you'd call it. And that's what I'm about. But I have to be real with that, because if I'm just jumping on here doing perfect videos, just giving advice, people think that I'm able to just live that advice with ease. And when they can't do it, they feel like they feel less themselves, and they don't know how to tackle those feelings and tackle the hurdles that we actually all have. And I am willing to share a lot of those hurdles. I am always going to protect my kids and my family. I am not going to dump every single negative thing out online. I think that that's really silly. But I am going to show enough that if you were a friend sitting at my table right now and we were sharing a cup of coffee, I would share with them everything that I'm doing, and again, still hold back things that don't need to be said, but I would share everything that is helpful. So that is my aim with my next weeks and months and videos. If you want to join the email series, I'll have the link down below. And until next time, did I even do an intro? I don't know. If you don't know who I am, if I haven't done an intro, I should probably go back and film that. My name is Sinead. I am the creator of thesimplemama.com, and I create motherhood and homeschooling content here on YouTube and on my blog and on my Instagram. And hopefully in 2024, I have promised this many times now, I can be consistent. But since I am very dedicated especially the next month, to get my kids back in order so that I can do more than just survive in my home, which is really crucial. I am past the survival stage of life. I need to get past it. I need to be in a thriving stage of life now. It takes hard work, dedication, and consistency. It's not easy, but it can be done. And I want to share with you how I'm going to do it through child training, because that's really, I can't pick up any of my other systems. I can't pick up the time block schedule. I can't pick up, effective homeschooling and consistent homeschooling. And I can't minimize my homeschooling anymore because I can't manage my time, because I can't manage my kids. So if that didn't offend you, if you're interested to see how I child train, and if you want to learn how I do it, and again, take it with a grain of salt, I am not an expert. I'm not writing books and promoting everything that I do. I can only share what has worked for me in the past, what I'm going to re-implement, and I can only share as I learn. I'll always be willing to go back and correct myself if I did something or said something that didn't work. And that's all I can do. That's all we can all do. And I hope that this video was at least encouraging in a good and healthy way. If you are like me and you're feeling really like you're surviving and not thriving, then maybe you want to, if you haven't subscribed, you might want to now and get on the email series, and hopefully we can sort out our lives together. So until next time, bye.